Welcome to another episode of the Declan Personal Archive. I will be listening to this when all of my co-hosts are dead, but you are listening it to all they're all alive. Hey guys, we're back for another episode of the Truly Rotten Potatoes show.
Oh, what's up? Truly Rotten Potatoes. I nearly thought it was still Truly Rotten Tomatoes.
Don't say that.
Holy shit.
Long-time listeners of the pod will know that legally we cannot say that, and we certainly cannot use any trademarks belonging to any movie critic websites.
Can you bleep the...
Nope. I don't bleep nothing anymore. Yeah. These episodes go out raw.
Raw, baby.
This is live from New York. Well, this is the first podcast we are recording in Crane Vision.
The old Crane Vision loft.
Welcome to Crane Vision, boys. Thanks for joining me here. I'm the host of this apartment, but not the host of this show.
We've taken the show on the road. We're having a new studio just for at least one episode. We watched the movie on a cool projector that was maybe not the most contrast worthy.
Yeah, I just hadn't blocked out the light, so there was a lot of, shall we say, black images in this movie that didn't show up too well. But hey,
we should before we get into John Henry 2020, we should talk about Matthew Perry 2023.
Yes. Did anybody tell him that his life was going to be this way?
No.
His life was not a joke. He wasn't broke.
He wasn't broke. In fact, he died in a hot tub.
Cha 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 cha.
Yeah. That's the sound that the EMTs perhaps were trying to use to resuscitate him. That's probably too soon. That's about as soon as you can get.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I think we all thought was...
This happened while we were watching the movie. That's why we're bringing it.
It happened pretty much, 15 minutes in, and I think we all just said, Matthew Perry, a great loss, and yet Keanu Reeves still walks among us.
Yeah, if you haven't read Matthew Perry's book, that's a comment he makes. I've got a really bad one.
And a comment I stand by. No, I mean...
I've got a bad
Matrix
one.
4 rocked.
I thought it was just his love life that was DOA. But it's his whole life.
Yeah. Matrix 4 did rock. I feel like the Matrix 4 really brought what was a terrible franchise from the get-go up to par.
But Matthew Perry wasn't doing well at that point, and Matrix 4 certainly did not help.
I think that was what was the killer for him. He watched the Matrix 4, he got in the tub to chill out because he was so angry that Keanu Reeves continues to walk among us.
He watched Candy again, as he does at 4 p.m. every day, starring Heath Ledger and Abby Cornish.
He likes that movie?
Cornish?
What, he really likes Candy a lot?
He loves Candy.
Yeah.
And he tries to get the golden ticket. He doesn't. And that's the twist in this one.
Yeah.
Look, all cavalier commentary aside, it sounds like a real tragedy. I don't like it.
Real loss.
Whether it's because, and we don't know whether it's he broke his sobriety and took drugs or alcohol, had a heart attack, drowned in his hot tub, or whether it was even more tragic, I think, if he was clean and sober and was having a nice day, playing some pickleball, went home to relax, and then just had a heart attack, drowned in his hot tub. I mean, there's no good way to spin this. There's bad jokes to make, and I think
I think the saddest part is that the hot tub was empty. So, how did he even drown? I mean, was he drowning in his own sorrow?
I think that was it. Sorrow.
Yeah. The mask of sorrow.
I just hope none of us are ever successful enough to have a hot tub that we then die in.
Well, this is the irony. Yeah. And I mean, wouldn't it be ironic if David Schwimmer died in water?
From drowning.
Yeah, from drowning. Yeah. I mean, that would be the icing.
Can you imagine the headlines?
Yeah.
Poor Schwimmer.
Yeah.
That's all you need to...
Poor Schwimmer.
Poor Schwimmer would be the headline. And I don't mean to be callous about Matthew Perry's death. I did really like that movie.
We've lost one of the friends. We've lost one of the friends.
Yeah, how are they going to do a
first
reboot
friend
now?
To go.
Who is going to replace him?
I think I'm going to watch that
Who would you
show.
replace him with?
Yeah.
What, in the Friends
reunion.
Luke Perry?
Who was the one who nearly got the role? I'm sure there was someone that was like second.
Oh, I should know this because I listen to that autobiography every morning.
I think it was, what's his
Keanu
name?
Reeves.
O.J. Simpson?
The footballer.
I think he nearly got
Former
it.
footballer. Heisman Trophy winner? Is it the Heisman?
Heisenberg.
Yeah, he won the Heisenberg Trophy.
Heisenberg Award.
because he was really good at leaving his family. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know why I started riffing on that.
No, I think we just can't even comprehend what's happened. We're so shocked that we're just saying really fucked up, insulting, offensive things, and
Grief
Well, look, I mean,
Yeah.
works in mysterious ways.
let's be honest. There's not a whole lot of tragic news at the moment. And so when something like
Yeah.
this really breaks through and reminds you that
Life is
actually
fleeting.
there are people struggling, and you want to sort of bring awareness, and like I almost wish there was a way we could donate and
to Hollywood celebrities to
Yeah.
make sure that they feel supported.
to make sure that they feel supported in what would I could only describe as, well, a war on their well-being and just on like you know, we need to review basically whether or not we allow these people to have hot tubs in their backyards without fences. I mean, let's go back to that fellow who Kids Alive do the 5. Why not adults who are not yet dead do the 5?
You're asking serious questions, and probably something that we need to send through to Jen Aniston, Matt LeBlanc.
well,
Monica.
you're holding them responsible.
No. Just so that they can spread the word to more of their friends, the Friends Network. I'm starting to regret.
Oh, there's a Friends network? There's a Friends network?
Yeah.
Where they have like spin-offs of the Friends show?
You
Yeah,
watched
Joey.
Yeah.
Joey, and then the
It
show
had the
about
Animorph in it.
the Gus is
It had Animorph Man and Sopranos Lady.
Drea
Gus's
Di
Cafe.
Matteo. I don't know who
Yes.
Animorph Man is.
And Andrea Di Matteo has an OnlyFans, which I read about on news.com.au. That's where I get all my OnlyFans news.
Yeah. Now, what about John Henry 2020 on a less serious note? Can we have some fun? Can we just make some jokes about John Henry 2020?
I'd
Yeah.
like to make some jokes about John Henry 2020.
I'd like to. I can't make any promises, but I'd like to.
I can make some predictions.
I'd like to make some promises. Yeah, I'd like to make some threats. I'd like to make some predictions. I'd like to say my name is Morgan Quinn as well.
I'd like to say I am Mitch Gosling, and I am the host of A Parasite.
And this podcast is a parasite.
On my very soul.
So let me tell you about John Henry, Mitch. I don't know how familiar you are, but this is a project based on the folklore of a man called John Henry, which is an African-American man. It's a United States folklore, and he's known for his incredible strength. There are many versions of this story, interpreted most often in music and literature, and they've been told in the US since the 1800s at the birth of the American railroads. So Henry was said to have been more adept at hammering steel than any machine, and
Okay.
that tool, the big kind of hammer, became his symbol. Now, in this film, it's not based on the DC Comics version of the same folklore.
Sure.
It's just kind of bringing from that kind of public domain story the folklore of John Henry. And Terry Crews plays, I guess, what you could describe as like an emotional descendant of that character.
Sure.
But it's not set in the 1800s in the American railroad times. This is set in modern era. We're in Compton. We're in Los Angeles, in the suburbs.
Yeah.
There's a bit of street gangery going on. And that's where we're going to meet this character. Now, what's interesting about this movie is it was a micro-budget movie with what the producers described as zero marketing dollars. So we found that one actor who worked on it said that the movie cost $800,000 US was the budget, and they sold the North American rights to Saban Films.
Who do the Power Rangers, and I think that's what you'd know them from. Saban.
Yeah. So if you were like me and you had a Power Rangers bedsheet growing up, you might have seen a little Saban logo in the corner.
And I think Saban also did another movie on our list, Max Steel.
Yes,
I think
that's
is a
right.
Saban picture.
Oh,
Yeah.
Max Steel.
Yeah.
Electric Cum Man.
Electric
That's
Come
right.
Man with
Better known title.
That was fun
Yeah.
stuff.
So overall, this is a story. We can give a quick summary. I don't think it's a very plotty movie. It was a quite cheap movie, but it looked pretty nice most of the time, especially for how
let's get
low
the
budget
goods.
it was.
Let's get the goods out of the way. Let's try to get all the goods at the front.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
it was directed by this guy, Will Forbes, who also co-wrote the script and, interestingly, in the opening credits, did all the music for the movie. He
did the score for the movie,
Yeah,
and
music by-
all the songs were anything that was, I think, had like flow or like a rapper on it was DJ Quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so this was like a South Central LA kind of movie. It had the same tone of like a GTA 5.
Mm-hmm.
It had the same tone as one of the movies we watched. I forget its name, but we watched it with Citizen K. 3 Strikes. Yeah. Similar tone. It has that kind of...
well, it's got the California thing.
Yeah.
And also another link would be that was directed by DJ Pooh, who directed and produced a lot of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Yeah, that's right. Definitely that San Andreas feel.
And this movie has a character played by, what's his name? Slick Johnson. The guy who plays Lamar in GTA 5.
DJ Pooh, you got to be pretty secure in yourself to go with that.
Yeah, because it's so easy for critics to say that guy stinks.
Yeah.
That music stinks.
This is shit.
That was shit.
Now, can you quickly remind me the famous scene in GTA 5 where Lamar is interacting with like the character you play? It's like a meme scene.
I won't be saying anything, but he accuses Franklin of not being able to retain a girl because of his quote unquote yee ass haircut. That I think I can say that, or I can't. Sorry. And then he says in a very funny voice the N-word to his friend Franklin, and then he says, "What? It's good. I'm going to stop talking about it."
I wonder what it says about me that I'm more interested in Matthew Perry's death than any other news article at the moment.
Well, you just read his book recently.
Yeah.
And I haven't read it, but you basically told me all the parts of it. So now I feel connected.
Well, you've gotten the whole 9 yards.
Why would it?
Yeah, and the whole 10
yards
yards
as well.
And you also watched Studio 60 at the Sunset
Studio
Strip.
60 and the Sunset Strip.
Oh,
I did. I got into a whole Matthew Perry
Did that
thing.
come out at the same time as 30 Rock?
Came out the same season, same network.
Oh my God.
So you tell me that they were like,
you got the
Tina
Aaron
Fey and
Sorkin
Sorkin were sending emails to each other, or Sorkin was like, almost passive aggressively supportive, like, "Hey, just wanted you to know, like, I'm glad you got the show."
Yeah.
And like, yeah, we're still friends, but they were essentially pitching the same show at the same time.
Yeah, and for some reason they both got picked up. This is, I think, 2006 NBC television season.
Yeah.
You've got Sorkin coming off The West Wing. He famously left 4 years into the run. He also had his legal troubles where he was caught with mushrooms, weed, and I want to say crack cocaine on trying to get onto a plane. So Sorkin, he's winning record Emmys on The West Wing, leaves the show after 4 years, and the next show he makes is Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip. So 30 Rock and Studio 60 are both SNL type backstage shows on the network that has SNL running at the same time, where I guess the world was fascinated at that point. Like, how do they make this show every week? How do they put live sketch comedy? And we got Tina Fey, who worked on SNL and was a head writer and a Weekend Update host. She knows how it made. She made her version. And then Aaron Sorkin, who just, I guess, watches it on TV and is like, I know how they make that show because I've made other shows. Now, Studio 60 survives one season. 30 Rock does, I think, 6. And they actually had Aaron Sorkin cameo as himself on an episode of 30 Rock, playing himself, and they kind of parodied it a little bit. So, fun times.
Yeah, too many seasons for my blood.
Just give me a one season and a cancellation.
Yeah, give me a one and done.
Yeah.
You reckon Matthew Perry was ever on 30 Rock?
I reckon he probably was.
You think so? He's an NBC legend.
I know Seinfeld had a whole episode about Sign Vision.
I don't remember Perry on 30 Rock cameoing.
There would have been... Oh, Schwimmer probably was. I feel like Schwimmer was.
Schwimmer does some cameos. He was on episodes.
Schwimmer
the
gets
Matt LeBlanc
around.
Show.
I feel like Chandler gets a bad rap.
No, Chandler's good. I like Matthew Perry. I'm sad that he doesn't exist anymore. I want to read his book now.
In the book, he's like talking about how him and his friends used to, have this sardonic sense of humor and developed this way of speaking that was very it was very insular, that only they understood. And that's what he brought to the audition of Chandler. And so like when you see Chandler, like that's pretty much Matthew Perry. He's very much that sardonic, insecure, folding his arms in the corner kind of guy.
Speaking of insecure, I don't like the way I sound, so I'm gonna I'm gonna put on a bit of a voice for the rest of this episode. Just sound a little more masculine, a little more Aussie.
Bit of a fun time.
I think the podcast could, have this energy to it, and it might be a bit better.
Yeah, and for contrast, I'm just going to talk like this the rest of my life.
Well, I didn't say rest of my life. I just meant for this episode. But yeah, that sounds good. You take that on, I'll take this on. I'll meet you in the middle for a
really
little
want
hooty
my
dooty.
voice in my life to be a contrast to this hour-long podcast, if that's okay with you guys.
I'm just going to be my authentic self, guys.
Your voice is good, Mitch.
I
I'm
need
trying to
this
be
to,
more like you. You've got the depth.
Well, then I got to make some adjustments.
You be your authentic self. I'm going to be my orthotic self. And that means
Orthopedic self.
I'm going to be my aesthetic self.
Do my jokes sound funnier when I do it like this? My orthopedic self. Is that better? Is that, yeah. All right, let's talk about John Henry, right? So we start in 1993.
John.
VHS camera. We're in a car.
That.
We've got a kind of who we learn later is the pops of John Henry, the father of John Henry. And he's talking shit. And John Henry's kind of like a late teenager at this point, and he's like, man, I'm
really
drowning in pussy.
Voice. He's really going to keep doing this.
I don't know how long I can keep it up, but if it works, it works, you know. And yeah, the dad's talking about drowning in pussy, and he says that the mother is dead, and then he says like, when you were born, son, you put I put my finger through, and you grabbed my with your hand, and you squeezed it, and I went, my boy's strong.
Yeah.
And so we know that John Henry is a strong character from this scene.
So I'm more like, is it that you've got a strong son, or you're just a weak baby of an adult?
Well, he was just born and he nearly broke his hand. So it's like, I thought we were getting like Superman, but of the street. Mm-hmm. And then it kind of leads that direction. I don't know. I see Saban and I'm like, we're going to get a Megazord. We're going to get
some powers, superpowers. So then we cut to more kind of VHS Blair Witch style handheld footage, and it's 1994, and John Henry and his boys are they're like gangsters in an apartment. They're playing cards, they're smoking blunts.
It's not that much different to his normal voice. I think like 80% of it is in the eyebrows.
And I just don't know. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it yet.
I gotta get the laugh right.
I don't trust that laugh. I don't trust that.
Yeah, you don't trust him because he's gonna steal your girl with that laugh.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just imagining a girl listening to like, she's like, oh my God.
Is that guy single?
Women are usually like attracted to men who have a good sense of humor, but actually it's just
it's the
men
sound
that have
of
a good laugh.
Yeah.
They found the right tone.
They're like, how's your new boyfriend? And she's like, oh, he's not very funny, but he's got the timbre of his laughter is quite manly.
You hear is
I
just love him.
So yeah, after this little scene where we see in 1994 that John is hanging with his boys and maybe getting into some trouble, this loud hymn starts. Do you remember this?
And of course.
And it sings the song, tells the story of John Henry.
Story.
We don't know if this is based on an old kind of plantation style
American
song
that
people would sing, but
I'm still like I kind of wanted to ask questions about what the actual folklore story was like. So he was so strong that he was better than the machine, but he also dies. Anyway, sorry, that doesn't matter. I'll look it up in a bit.
Anyway, so can you sing the song to me really quick?
John
Henry. He could hammer, he could whistle, he could sing. And then it tells a story about him first picking up the hammer. Anyway, again, this is kind of weird. We've got like VHS, we've got like black shots with the hymn singing, and then we've got Terry Crews finally introduced as kind of older, modern day John Henry. And there's a dead dog on the street.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? It's like beautiful sunset in South Central Los Angeles. There's a dead dog on the street. Basically, one of the kind of local gangster guys has hit the dog with his car, and he's not very apologetic about it. And I'm sorry, I've lost my voice for a second.
That's better. You lost the timbre. I'm getting confused.
I can see you guys looking at me all confused, like, who is this nerd? What happened to the cool guy? And so Terry Crews comes over, picks up the dog, and the other gangster guy is not nice about it. He just keeps being like, what the fuck you gonna do? What the fuck you gonna do? And Terry Crews has a gun in his face, but he doesn't react. He's a pacifist. He's non-violent. He picks up his dead dog, and like John Wick, John Henry just takes his dead dog inside and kind of mourns it. That's
not what John Wick does at all. He kills everybody.
Well, that happens later. It all catches up in the end. So then we have another stop where hip hop music plays and we get the proper opening credits. It's kind of black and white comic book style images.
Which makes you think it's a comic book, and it's
yeah,
not.
Right.
For that, I just realized that we decided it wasn't based on the DC comic, but they really are trying to have a bit of everything. And this is like the third or fourth start to this movie at this point. And we are getting the idea, like this is a tight 89 minutes, but we are getting the idea that maybe this low budget film is reaching a little for its runtime.
Mm-hmm.
It may not have enough to really get us all the way there.
What's the first thing that tipped you off?
Yeah, just multiple openings to a movie.
It's true.
Where you want to just be thrown into the tone and the opening scene, and this is kind of like VHS footage. There's a hymn.
54 years old.
He can't hear this. He doesn't have
You
headphones.
can't hear what's happening right
No,
now.
what you got Bluetooth happening? Somebody's Bluetooth on into the
Yeah, okay,
roadcaster?
sorry there. My phone's been connected and I don't know why it just started reading that Wikipedia page. But for all the bad part is I already read that part, so it's not extra information. But
Oh man!
for everyone at home, that's quite a funny moment.
54 years old.
That's what makes the podcast so classic is just moments like that.
How do you think Matt LeBlanc's feeling right now, boys?
It's still going. I disconnected the Bluetooth, but for some reason this is still going, and I have no idea why.
Shut the fuck up, Google.
Courtney Cox, God, my heart breaks for her right now.
Yeah,
She's a widow.
She's a widow in the show, in the context of the Friendsiverse. Whew, God, I feel like that needs a graphic novel. I feel like Friends needs a graphic novel.
The Friends graphic novel.
The Friends graphic novel. And
where would you go?
Where would you? Well, you go. You start in New York, and
Before they've met? Is it origin story?
yeah, the Orange story, Orange County story.
Yeah, Phoebe gets an orange, right? She killed someone.
In Friends, they do a lot of flashback episodes to when they were younger, and they always have Monica being really fat. Like
They
that
have
was
her in a
really
fat
funny
suit.
Yeah.
to
And
be
then-
like,
It's
hey,
really
you're-
funny to see like what would characters look like beforehand and see their haircuts and
Yeah.
and they're all goofy and like, oh man, that's just like poof.
But we get to
Yikes.
see what John Henry was like beforehand in this, and we have a flashback to when he was kind of younger, and he was in the gangs, and he did commit a murder by hand, actually by foot, where we see in the CCTV that he kind of defends his cousin who's also in the gang, and he punches this guy in the face, and then when he's on the ground, he basically gives him the old boot slam.
The old
old boot
curb
slam.
stomp. Stomps him into the curb.
No, I think it's
Not even-
I think it's just to the face.
Yeah, it's straight to the face. A curb stomp to me has to be, maybe I'm just thinking of the American History X. where
Yeah, I
you've
think
gotta
that
open
we
them
all
and put
think
the
of
teeth.
the,
Yeah,
the one reference point we have for that.
yeah, but this is just straight up like the
Horrifying.
guy's on his back and Terry Crews well, it's not even Terry Crews, it's young actor playing younger version of the character, and he does the full lift and slam with the heel into the guy's face, killing him. And then the backstory of this is that Terry Crews committed this murder to protect his kind of gangster cousin, but in doing so, he decided, I'm not going to be violent anymore. I'll never touch a gun again. I'm not going to hurt people. He has a conscience about such violent acts.
Sure. I mean, yeah, it's the thing where it's like, I guess he doesn't understand in the moment that
Killing people is not a
that,
good
like,
thing.
Well, no, I think that it's not a singular instance, and that he's gonna have to keep doing it because Randy from The Wire. Sorry, I called him Randy, but his name is Hell.
In the movie.
In the movie, his name is Hell.
Hell.
Yeah.
But you call him that because he plays Randy Wagstaff in The Wire, the son of Cheese Wagstaff.
Son of Cheese, Method Man. Man. Sorry, I was about to go on a rant about Method Man.
Somebody stop him.
METHOD,
Man.
METHOD,
Man.
Hey, you, get off my cloud. You don't know me and you don't know my style.
Guess how old he was when he did that, though?
19.
17.
Okay.
17. And
so
it's
close.
like, there's like 3 different songs that he worked into it. Anyway, so John Henry,
Yeah.
I think, the first like scene apart from John Henry though is in the whorehouse where I said
Yeah.
or brothel. Or, sorry,
I don't even think it was that. I think it was just like an apartment that a whole bunch of gangster guys were smoking, playing cards.
and they had like kidnapped women.
Yeah, they did have some kidnapped women, and
Were
they
they
were.
kidnapped? I felt like they were pimping
Well,
them
at
out.
least one of them was. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
they were pimping them out,
because
for sure,
she
for
said
sure.
that she'd cleaned all of these girls up as he's like taking away who's like later a main girl, the girl from Honduras,
Berta, maybe.
Berta.
Yeah.
So yeah, when they're taking off Berta, but like
Well, I
that
don't know,
scene
they were
is
all
like,
having a good time. They were all dressed in white, and they were all laughing. And
Yeah,
so I
they
just kind
banter, and
it was a good vibe
yeah.
to me.
But the banter,
that's the thing,
that's
like,
they
they're talking-
banter for like 4 or 5
Yeah,
minutes
they did.
straight.
like they are saying fucked up things, but they're just
yeah.
like I think it's just
No, it's
you
toxic.
guys got to riff
It's
Yeah.
really toxic.
until we get to this point.
It's just kind of the like a general scene
Jennifer
of
Aniston.
blokes talking shit. You know, they're insulting each other. They're saying this guy's got a small dick. They're all laughing.
Talking about Cox,
Yeah.
Courtney.
I think this was the point where maybe we saw that Matthew Perry had suddenly died, and we maybe talked about it for 4 minutes, and the scene was still going, and we were like, "Did we
Yeah,
miss
we
anything?"
were.
And we go like, "No, they're just still bantering each other."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think it ends with one guy getting shot in the chest.
Well, he was
and
on
you hear
death
the-
row.
Yeah. There's
Or
a-
should I say Kudrow?
There's a couple of moments. There's a couple of moments in there. So one of them is that they talk about one of the hookers, and they look at her feet, and they're all dirty, and they're like, "You said you cleaned them up. Like, this bitch has gross feet or whatever." And then
Which she did. She had
Yeah,
like
I mean,
like she was wearing high heels
atrocious.
and she had like soot all over her feet.
yeah, and then
She was like, I had a bath this morning.
Yeah.
Like, what'd you go in your hands? I was like,
Yeah.
I could get behind that. That's funny.
yeah, do they say like, "Would you go in head first" or something? Yeah, it was strange. But then they're all talking shit. One of them does go off with one of these women that I don't even think it's fair to say that they're hookers, because they may not have fully been there by their own accord. And then people just start getting shot, and everyone gets shot. And 2 people come in. They're Latino males. They have balaclavas on. They take them off. And we realize they're actually trying to save one of the women. They're trying to rescue one of the women.
The soundtrack up to this point has all been like pretty aggressive hip hop, and as soon as there's an inkling of a Latino, like
Yeah.
Once they
suddenly
take
we're in
once they take the
flamenco
mask
guitars.
off,
Yeah.
we get nice little
Flamenco
flamenco
guitar.
guitar.
Suddenly it's Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Yeah.
It's-
And they do save Berta, but in doing so, one of the gangsters, you know how when people get shot, they have just enough energy sometimes to pick up their gun and shoot one person before they literally close their eyes and die.
Yeah.
And this is what happens. And so the brother of the girl they've just saved does get shot there and left, but the other guy they're with, who we find out later is a half brother, takes her off to safety. But now he's just killed, like, as he says later, I don't know, I think 6 of these kind of gang guys, and they're going to be after him, and they run off down the street, and some other gangsters come after them, but she hides under the front porch of one John Henry. And so we get, like the opening scene of Inglourious
Inglourious
Bastards, where one of the gangsters is the Hans Landa character, and John Henry plays the French milkman, dairy farmer. And so he's like, "Hey, have you seen this?" And he's like, "No, I haven't seen anyone." And he's quite nice and calm, and as we've seen, he's not intimidated by people with weapons.
Speaking of French people and speaking of bullets, none of the bullets in this movie were blanks, or should I say, they were not LeBlanc.
I was saving that for BJ talking about his penis.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
not-
He was shooting Matt LeBlanc.
Damn, I was,
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll get
That,
there.
actually, I had the same thought. But then he said French, and I was like,
Yeah. To be clear, BJ is John Henry's father. We saw him in the VHS scene, and then we see him. He lives with John Henry. He's in a wheelchair. He's on oxygen, but he's still got that kind of like hood background. We don't necessarily see that he was in gangs, but he's got that vernacular and that style, that bravado.
They're Inglewood locals, and he grew up there. And he is played by horror legend Ken Foree of the Dawn of the Dead movies. He's also in From Beyond, and he was in that shitty Halloween remake.
But do you think that he was shooting LeBlancs, or does he have a few Schwimmers?
Oh, man.
That's all, I think we've gone through all of the. It's the whole cast now.
No, what was the name of the weird guy?
Who owned the cafe?
Yeah.
Gus, I think.
No, it's Gunther.
Oh, Gunther.
Gunther.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the go with Ken Foree? You said he was in Dawn of the Dead. I assume you're not talking about the 2000 Zack Snyder James Gunn.
No, he's in
remake.
OG George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead, follow up to Night of the Living Dead. He in the original cut of the movie, I think he just dies, but at the end of the movie, it feels very funny because he's like clearly about to kill himself. He has a gun against his head, and then they stop playing. Yeah, I know. I was laughing. No, then just like triumphant trumpets start playing, and he just shoots all the zombies, and they get into a helicopter and they fly off into the sunset, and it's fun.
That's a better take.
Yeah,
I like that more. All right, so once John Henry he protects this girl Berta that's under his porch. He takes her in. She doesn't speak a lick of English. She's from Honduras. He tries to communicate with her. The dad's in the corner just being like, why'd you bring this gutter bitch inside? Which is not a very nice thing to say to like a refugee. Or
not cool at all.
And then she does say in Spanish, everyone's gone. Turns out the dad, BJ, in the wheelchair, can speak a bit of Spanish, and John Henry isn't aware of this. Yeah, so he goes, when did you learn Spanish? And then maybe I shouldn't be doing those accents.
Yeah, I was like, I thought you were
using
using your cool voice just so you wouldn't have
Spanish?
to.
And then the dad goes, I learned it in 1989 taking night classes, like I was banging this Spanish bitch.
Puerto Rican.
And a Puerto Rican, you're right. And then he goes, but, she caught me with her sister before I even finished the classes. So he's somehow remembers little bits of Spanish that he took 30 years ago in a class.
He's in LA. He would know Spanish.
I don't feel like he's been practicing, though, because otherwise his son, John Henry, would be aware that he can speak it, but he can't. And in fact, I just realized he said that was in 1989, Taylor Swift's new album, old album.
Taylor's version.
Yeah.
But
the opening VHS scene was 1993, and John Henry was like, I guess he was like 18 or whatever, and 4 years ago, I guess his dad could have been banging women because they do say the mum is dead. So, okay, it does track. But I was like, hold on a sec. Anyway.
Do you guys think I should get a vasectomy?
Do you want to have kids?
Maybe later, but not.
You can reverse it.
You can freeze them or you can reverse it.
Yeah, you can reverse it.
Being able to do whatever you want with,
I want to cream pie whoever I want.
Without any threat of child.
Yeah, left, right, and center. Well, I don't want children threatening me while I'm doing it. That's for sure.
No, that's always the worst.
Yeah. It's apparently not that expensive. It's like $600, and
don't you do it?
I don't think it's that fun though.
Yeah, they're threatening me not to get a vasectomy. You don't think it's fun to get a vasectomy?
Yeah, I mean, you're still taking a minor elective surgery at that point.
Oh yeah, no, it's not going to be fun.
Yeah, but I mean, if you really don't want to accidentally have kids, that's why people do it.
And then
they don't do it for fun.
You can reverse it and flip it and reverse it.
Yeah, I was going to say Missy Elliott.
Is it worth
hers.
it? Is it worth it?
All right, we'll table that one. We'll come back to that in 20.
Yeah, well, no, leave a comment down below. Email
Have
us.
we got a comment section?
No, but we have a Gmail account, trulyrottentomatoes@gmail.com.
Is that what it still is?
Yeah, I couldn't change the address.
It's just like thinking about...
They're going to come for us.
No, you can use the email. That's not trademarked.
Yeah.
You never know.
At Gmail is the trademark.
Yeah, Gmail are really not happy that we're using
clearly truly Rotten Tomatoes hiding in the skin of truly rotten potatoes.
Hey, don't say that. They still listen.
I think just all this, talk about mortality and Matthew Perry really makes you reassess what's important in life. And like,
not
I
having
do not
kids
want to have
is
kids.
the number one priority.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like
I don't want to die in a jacuzzi accidentally having had kids.
Yeah.
Which Matthew Perry never did, right? He was never married.
He was never married, never had a kid.
Kids.
He had his jacuzzi. He was probably
Wait, so who gets the money?
Who gets the
Friends
jacuzzi?
money?
Joey.
The Friends syndication money.
Ooh, it goes straight to the Friends Foundation, I think.
It goes straight to Joey.
To highly redefine all of the Friends episodes.
Yeah. I think Larry
remember,
David has a claim on it somehow.
There was it came out that Joey doesn't share, right?
In the show Friends?
Or
Matt LeBlanc, the actor?
Someone tries to take some of his dessert.
Okay,
and I think that was written in because Matt
LeBlanc
was trying to get a piece of everyone's contract.
When you're that rich, right, and you're making $1 million an episode at the end of the run of Friends, and you're really close to your compadres, but you're all so famous and wealthy and rich now, you start upping the ante of little bets around the office, right?
Right, yeah.
So you have a thing that's like, hey, Schwimmer, I bet you can't, throw this balled up piece of paper into that bin from across the room.
That's where it starts.
And then at some point you go, hey, LeBlanc, I'll give you all my syndication money if you can throw this balled up piece of paper across
oh, yeah, that's my LeBlanc.
And Joey gets it in, and then Matthew Perry has given up the rights to his syndication. Have we got an Uber Eats guy?
Oh, dude, we got a special
I got
guest.
a lunch order.
We have got a special
this
guest.
guy's coming.
He should be buzzing. He should be buzzing me.
He's driven around the block 2 times.
Oh, really?
and I
They're
feel
usually
like I
pretty
gotta
cool.
go.
They usually
Yeah.
tell him it's at Tower 2 and we're not getting knocked down.
Yeah.
Do I get to go? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, take a walk,
They're
take a
usually
walk.
pretty cool. Bring him up here, though.
We can keep the show going without
Yeah, we can
you,
keep it
Mitch.
rolling.
In fact,
Yeah, well, we don't have
mean,
any.
Well, tell me.
just the second
Tell me how you're gonna do
just
it.
the second you got distracted, the momentum started rolling.
Yeah, we started talking about all sorts of things we haven't touched on before, like David Schwimmer, Matt LeBlanc,
Yeah.
whether or not they have competitions in the office to throw pieces of paper in a.
Is there
bin.
any connection of Matthew Perry to this film? John Henry.
Oh, like a 6 degrees of separation.
Have we got a 6 degree? Can we do
Kevin
a 6
Bacon
degrees
kinda
of
thing.
Matthew Perry in honor of his memory?
Oh yeah,
I'm
certainly.
sure there's probably just 1 degree because Terry Crews has been in so much.
Yeah, Terry
that
Crews
he
would be
would've-
the one, right?
Wait, how about just this? Whole 9 yards. Matthew Perry's with Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis is in The Expendables, which Terry
Yeah.
Crews is in. I
Yeah,
think.
that's a
Although
Terry
I
Crews
haven't seen them all,
orig.
I don't know if they're in all the same ones. But
They probably talked about him on set. They probably aired concerns. just Terry Crews to everybody.
yeah, he's like, hey, how deep is your boy's jacuzzi? How much water is in that thing?
Yeah, he probably would have had like the sickest jacuzzi as well. Like that's the saddest
that's
part.
the thing. It's like I'm thinking of a jacuzzi one of us would have,
Mm.
like a very small, average, baby-sized, portable Amazon jacuzzi.
Yeah.
Perry was probably in like an Olympic pool-sized jacuzzi.
This guy
right?
wants me to go downstairs. All right, I'll be back.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
go.
See if you can get back up because we are not stopping recording and we are not getting up.
We are on the burst right now.
Yeah, we are on the run. Do you want to talk quickly? While Mitch is gone, we can get through some of the boring plot of. I mean, no, just the plot. Just the plot.
Yeah, just some of the plot
So
as it is.
basically, the movie is about John Henry taking in these Honduras refugees. They've come to America because they believe their father was there, but they had an old postcard. It turns out their father was in the military in the 90s. He was stationed in Honduras and he impregnated like a local lady. Now, he also had a son in America who's called Emilio, and Emilio is the one who answers their postcard, and they end up showing up at his house hoping to meet the dad. But he's like, I don't know. I guess the dad's dead. It was kind of a dumb thing.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Like it seemed like they were taking a real risk in doing
Yeah.
this. But hey, anywhere's better than Honduras, right?
It's that's what they say. That's what the Hondurans say. So Emilio's like, look, I don't really want you to stay here. I'm just like a guy trying to make my way. I sell pills and weed and I don't have much to live in. And then he's like, I'll help you get to a shelter. As he's taking them to a shelter, the gangsters come in. They basically kidnap the girl. And that's why we saw her at the start kind of getting pimped out. Now, the movie is John Henry trying to protect
The world
Berta.
from devastation.
and to unite all peoples across the nation.
It's a good goal. What's up with Team Rocket having such like lofty goal? That sounds pretty good to me.
There's no way they're the bad guys if that's their goal.
All these other people are running around trying to capture Pokemon.
Yeah,
and
basically capture wild animals and make them
make
fight
them
to the
fight
death.
like circus animals.
Yeah, and
Team
these
Rocket
people are trying to unite all people and protect the world from devastation.
protect the world from devastation. United people within a nation.
But they
Something
do
about
work for a
truth
bad
and
guy,
love.
though, right? Giovanni is
Yeah,
like
presumably he's bad. I mean, he's doing some sort of genetic experiments on them. That's
right.
revealed in the movie.
Talking cat. They create Meowth.
Meowth. Yep. They duplicate Mew to make Mewtwo.
Yeah, right. Okay.
But I don't know if we know that through the whole series until we get to the movie.
Yeah, true.
It's just like, well, we see like ominous shots of Giovanni patting his Persia.
And maybe when we finish the 5 movies we have left in this list after today, we could watch some of those Pokemon movies because there's like 15 of them, and they did some sort of remake of the original Mewtwo Strikes Back. That's like the one that I saw in cinemas, and perhaps one of the only ones I have seen. But they did like a reboot of it recently, so they're still going with those Pokemon.
Pikachu's Vacation. Let's see if they redid that. That was
like a little animated short at the start.
Yeah, a little
right?
intro where we get to break away from the humans and just see them teaming together to save a Pokemon from, I don't know, Devastation, I suppose, of some description.
I think seeing Mewtwo Strikes Back in cinemas may have been the first time I was really hyped up for a movie. Like I was really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting.
And I was like, this is the big thing. Made my parents take me. I've still got the Mewtwo kind of ancient holographic card. And I remember afterwards looking at my dad who took me, I would have been like 10 years old.
Tears in his eyes.
No, well, tears in my eyes. And I said to him like, Dad, what'd you think? And he just went like,
Yeah, Dad, what did you think? Huh? Which,
I was so impressed. Like this movie blew my mind.
Yeah.
I loved it so much. And my dad's reaction was just like, it was this. I took my son to a movie. I'm glad he enjoyed it. I got nothing from it. I couldn't even be like, yeah, that was actually cool. I'm glad you like this stuff.
Yeah.
It was just like, it didn't do much for me.
you would have been like 9 years old. That's the kind of shit that would just embarrass me to no end, to be doing that with somebody and for them to have no reaction.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I got to cover up how emotional this makes me feel because that person's not having any reaction. I went to see Australia with my dad.
Oh, yeah.
He seemed to really get into that movie.
Hey, dude, do you want to hear something fucked while you're...
Yes.
So Matthew Perry's last Instagram post was 6 days ago. It's a
Oh.
picture of his jacuzzi at night, and he's in there listening to headphones,
Oh.
those expensive Apple ones, not like and the kind of not earpods. What are they called? It doesn't.
I think they are called AirPods, but they
AirPods,
still
maybe.
go over the ears.
the big ones. And then the caption just says, "Oh, so warm water swirling around makes you feel good? I'm Matt Man." And that's his literal last post.
I'm
my
Matt
God.
Man.
So he's like, he's enjoying that new jacuzzi.
I'm Matt Man.
Oh, so do you? I think he was just having a few drinks.
He says that quite a bit.
Because that's the thing. Your body temperature when it raises, I believe you take in more alcohol. So it could have just been that.
We don't know he was drinking though.
We don't.
I hope he wasn't. I hope
Yeah,
he
we
wasn't.
assume he's still sober.
Yeah.
Hey, I got stuck in the elevator.
You got stuck in the elevator?
Yeah, I pressed 5 and then the doors closed and then it wouldn't go down.
It
and
didn't
then I was
you
pressing
couldn't
the
go
open and then I couldn't go. I was pressing level 1 and then
Really?
I called and then it went through to like a
How did you call?
like an external like the phone button. It
Yeah.
went through an
shit.
external like voicemail.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just hearing this and then I went up to level 10 and some guy's like, "Hey," and then the thing starts going, "Are you there?" And he's like, "What?" And I was like, "I was stuck in the elevator." He was like, "What?"
How did you call me?
Because I
Using the elevator.
no, when I went downstairs, I did get
Oh.
because he went downstairs.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
And then I had to explain to the elevator voice that I
Yeah.
got downstairs. It's okay.
Yikes! I better
But I was
report.
stuck.
I better report you. No, I better
Yeah.
report the elevator. That's messed up.
It was crazy.
I want a
It was,
discount.
like, the craziest.
I don't
thing.
think I should have to pay my mortgage anymore. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So-
say my friend got stuck in the elevator. I'm not paying this month.
Yeah, I'm done with this.
But they're like, hey, that's you in the bank. We have nothing to do with that here at building management. So you've already paid us.
Yeah, big bank and big elevator are all in on this together. But that's messed up about my man Matt Man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the fact
was
that he calls
enjoying his
himself Matt Man
jacuzzi.
Yeah, that is.
and that he
yeah.
does that regularly.
Man, just
Shout out Chandler.
I don't want my last Instagram post to be
This-
where I die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's not cool.
Yeah, just a picture of like a look how fast my Ferrari goes.
yeah, and then it turns out it exploded. I didn't crash it or anything.
Yeah, check out my new kitchen knives.
yeah.
What kind of idiot would fall off the Golden Gate Bridge?
Beautiful view from the goal. I think I'm going to come
Yeah,
here
yeah.
more often.
Yeah. Or it's just a really strange one. It's like, I'm eating Taco Bell, and it's just like he was shot to death.
Some people
in a
say
Taco Bell or something.
some people say tacos are bad for you.
Yeah.
We could probably with John Henry. The middle
Oh yeah,
bit
we've
of the
been doing the
movie-
plot while you were gone.
We don't- we- yeah, we-
we've set up the story with the main story.
Well, the middle of the movie doesn't really matter though.
Yeah. The key moments I want to bring up are that at some point they basically say they tell John Henry the story. He's like, "Look, I brought my half sister here. Then they got taken by the gangsters. I killed the gangsters." And he goes, "How many did you kill?" He goes, 6. Then he goes, "Cool, you owe 6 bodies." And then they go, "Oh shit." Then spaghetti Western music starts. He walks around, and at some point he removes his sleeves. He rips.
He yanks
Terry Crews rips his sleeves off, and that's how you know he's finally in business. Now, one of the things in the scene where Terry Crews meets the brother Emilio to get the story is he goes like, "I want you to take that gun out and he goes, "Oh, it's not loaded or something." He goes, "I don't care.
Oh,
Take
yeah.
the gun out.
Put it in the
Put it in
napkin."
this napkin." He very nicely folds the napkin up, and then he
Really serious music. as well.
and it's playing like this powerful, emotional kind of music, which just doesn't match what's going on screen, which is just him then putting it in a drawer, like in a cabinet in his bedroom or something. And it just shows you he's really serious about no guns. I don't like violence. There's a point where his father has taken someone's gun.
Oh, I don't know if you've got the quote of his great speech.
I did write a part of it down as well. Do you want to do it at the same time?
Hold on. I don't know what point. I mean, I can give you that it is this quote.
Okay, I've got the bit before that, so we
Okay.
can do the whole thing,
Okay.
right? So basically, Emilio is like, I wish I had my gun back, and the dad is like, he's like, it's not fair that you've got the gun, and the dad goes, was it fair that I had a stroke at 52 and then lost all practical use of my penis? And then he continues.
He says, "My dick was legendary, son. Legendary. Every fine piece of ass from Inglewood till Alhambra had a taste of BJ's hammer." Then boom, soft for the rest of time.
BJ's hammer. And then later on, somebody
This is an old man in a wheelchair as well.
the John Henry's enemy invokes his father's name later on. He says something about BJ.
Because John Henry's enemy is his cousin,
Yeah.
who's then later played by Ludacris. And the one thing we have to mention about him just quickly is there's a point where when John Henry's killed that man for him, and he's like, you did good, I've got the footage, it's going to make you awesome. Your first kill's always tough, I understand. I felt like shit, I couldn't eat, I couldn't shit after mine. But don't worry, you'll get over it. You know, you took your first life. And John Henry's like, no, I don't want anything to do with this stuff anymore, I'm quitting. And then he's like, just take this gun. And John Henry's like, I'm not touching guns. I'm out of it. And they do a back and forth of like, just take the gun. Just take the gun. The gun goes off. We don't really see what happened. Like the screen flashes white. There's a blood splatter. Yeah. And then later on when we see Ludacris, he has this golden metal plate hanging from his jaw, which just doesn't really look that good. It's just it's strange.
I will say the makeup job was ludicrous.
Yeah.
It was. Let's take a quick break to review the food that's been delivered to Crane Vision. Now, Mitch, what have you got here today?
We've got
this
lamb
episode
classic
this
from
episode
Spit
is
Shack.
sponsored by Spit Shack. Spit Shack, the only place where you can eat food.
The only place where you can eat food.
It's got gravy. It's got mint jelly.
Oh, mint jelly.
This is like a delicious
Let me hold this. I'll commentate.
Lamb sandwich.
I am holding two microphones.
Morgan's double micing it.
So
Just like he likes to double bag it so as not to get anyone pregnant accidentally.
That's right. And this Spit Shack thing looks like a little bit of a double bagged affair.
I'm seeing the gravy. You said there was mint jelly and
lamb?
gravy.
That looks like a soft bread. You just honked right into that. I don't know if that's...
Mitch has taken the first bite here
Testification.
of the edge of the bread.
Is it a soft bite?
He's commented
Gravy?
it's really good in between talking with his mouth full.
Green jelly?
No, I'm kidding.
Do you strike me as a man who couldn't go a day without meat? Is that true?
No, I do vegetarian weeks.
Oh, really?
Accidentally though.
Yeah. You don't try to do it.
I don't care about the morals of it.
You just fall into it. Yeah.
Okay, so he accidentally sometimes does vegetarian weeks with no morals.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. I'm holding Mitch's mic, so nobody can. No, but I'm just holding it now towards you. You don't need to like talk or anything. Just give me a few smacking sounds. Let me hear the sound of you eating.
I really don't want to do that.
Okay, fair enough.
Some people hate it.
Yeah, most people really hate that stuff. I'm an ASMR aficionado. I love that stuff.
I'm going to put it away.
Ass to mouth and then straight to vag. Wait, no, that's V. Oh, God. ASMV.
Rectum.
Yeah, straight to rectum. Wait, from ass to rectum.
Yeah. I'll get you some. I'll get you some papies.
I was all.
Well, that was the Spit
Mitch's
Shack
eat
review.
session.
Wow.
And what do you give it out of 10?
I'm gonna give.
So what's on it? I saw that there was gravy and lamb.
It's pulled lamb in gravy with mint sauce, mint jelly.
Wait, so you don't have any couscous, you don't have any salad, tomato, cherry tomato?
That's a kebab, man.
And now it's time for another one of our favourite segments. Morgan reads a few panels from Calvin and Hobbs. We're at page 27 of The Days Are Just Packed with Calvin and Hobbs.
If you're reading along with your Calvin and Hobbs book.
So
remember, if you would like to read along, you will need to listen from the very beginning of the podcast.
The first panel, we are hanging out with Calvin and Hobbs in the snow, as is their to do. We've got Calvin rolling what appears to be a snowball. He says, the whole problem with modern times is that there's no pride in craftsmanship. And then he goes on to say, when most kids make a snowball, they just mush a bunch of snow together.
And are we gonna let this? Play?
I want to stop it now because I'm seeing that we've been going for 50 minutes
Oh, we've still got-
basically
My
of
God.
recording.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the first panel. Next episode, we will hear the second panel of page 27 of The Days Are Just Packed
Yeah.
with
I'm
Calvin
just
and Hobbs.
extra cognizant of the fact that we watched a movie that had scenes that didn't need to be there. Like about 50 minutes into the movie, there was almost like a music video
And now
style
we're doing
just
the same thing.
montage
Yeah.
of scenes in
that,
LA.
They did that like 4 times in the movie.
Yeah.
And
they
you could
did,
tell
they were the best bits.
you could tell they were just vamping to hit the minimum length of a feature film at that point. And I don't want people to think, because we have got content coming out of our ears. There's at least 2 to 3 good moments I still want to talk about.
It's true.
One
and
of them,
that one song that they played over and over is a good song.
That was a highlight.
Yeah. There's a scene, basically, they're looking after the Hondurans. Gangsters come in, they do kill Emilio. This time, BJ finally, he takes some out, he shoots some of them, and he's standing up and stuff at this point. And
Oh, yeah, he just stands up.
He's out of the wheelchair. He's showing his kind of gangster.
Presumably, he can get
aficionado.
boners again.
He's fully erect now.
Yeah. He doesn't say it, but it's implied.
It's implied that he's erect.
Once he can shoot guns, he can shoot cums.
He can shoot LeBlanc.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then he hides behind a wooden table, and you can tell he's kind of hinting at the girl, like, you go that way and I'll sacrifice myself. I'll have one of those kind of brave hero moments where I stand up and I shoot them, and it takes a few seconds of their lives so you can escape. You're expecting him to get up, but they just shoot through the wooden table with a shotgun, and it leaves a giant hole and just takes him out. But he does still have, like, after that moment, the moment that he needs, the heroic moment. So everyone's dying. John Henry's still around. And this is when John Henry's like, you know what? I'm going to rip my sleeves off. I'm going to pick up a sledgehammer. But he gets into the altercation before that moment where he's in like a standoff with all of them. And they just straight up shoot him in the head. And he falls to the ground. And this is maybe 65 minutes in, and I'm going like, I literally said, is the movie over here? And you guys told me no. But I said, our main character's just been shot in the head. You don't come back from that.
Oh, yeah. This is and this is similar to like how the movie had a bunch of false beginnings. You know, this did feel like the end.
Yeah.
And then we get a few more endings after this, unfortunately.
We fade to black.
Just keeps happening.
Yeah.
It stays black for a while. I think we hear some dialogue. Maybe we see more random shots of LA streets. And then we cut back to John Henry laying on the ground, blood pooled around his head.
Yeah.
And a woman that has been in one other scene, really not important, but a friend of his, who he bought tampons from. Long story. Don't let me get in there.
Yeah, that was also a scene.
She comes in and
You boys ever buy that sort of stuff for your lady, or like? Like,
Yeah, no. I think buying tampons is more of a side chick thing.
Yeah, I'd be
And
like,
I don't have.
I mean,
balls.
I get as confused as John Henry. I'm looking at things going, what is all this? What are you doing with that? Are you pissing blood onto it?
Price check on being a little cuck boy.
Oh, just to throw back to that scene as well. Like I think a song starts playing, being like, "You remember this one?" And then both doing like little dance moves and being like, but do you remember this one?" Anyway, it sucked.
Can I get some masculinity on aisle 3 for this guy buying tampons for his girl?
No.
The worst is when you go like, you want to get tampons and they haven't given you the direction of exactly which brand and style they want.
Yeah.
So you get there and you're like, there's all these options. Do I want fat pussies here? Do I want fucking heavy flows? Do I want thin? And you're like, I don't know what my girl's got. I don't know if she's a fat pussy girl.
I love those fat pussy tampons though. They really soak up a blood nose like nothing else.
I just realized.
There's a Queen song. I think.
Fat pussy girl.
Fat
Fat pussy girls, they make them bicycles go round.
Yeah.
That's the
And my
song.
girlfriend listens to this show sometimes. Usually months later, but like on a plane or something, she'll catch
That's
up.
gonna suck.
And this is gonna come back and bite me.
Yeah.
So I just want to be very clear. I won't say her full name. I'll use her middle name. Sue, I don't think you're a fat pussy girl. Morgan and Mitch do. I don't.
Only based on. You know what? I shouldn't have ended that one. No.
Only based on what he's told us.
Sometimes it's not the time to improv.
I mean, look, sometimes when I go down to that damn tram over there, it feels like, is it tap on, tap off, or is it tampon, tap off?
Oh.
Don't know what that means.
I honestly think that women should not have to pay GST on sanitary items. And hold on.
No.
Let me say one thing else. This is Declan's soapbox moment. And I also think tampons should be counted as legal tender.
That was the bravest thing that we've ever said. Why aren't we using this as a political platform?
Why aren't we? Why are we?
Why are we really trying to utilize the momentum that we have in the community space?
Well, I think we
podcast?
nailed it earlier when we really highlighted the tragedy that's going on over in America at the moment with Chandler.
Yeah,
the jacuzzi system.
We've all lost a friend.
Yeah, we can all relate to that.
If you have a voice, you have an obligation to use it for righting the wrongs of the world. And we do that by talking about 0% tomatoes.
Now, that's very
potatoes.
Because some people don't have voices.
Yeah, some say tomatoes, I say potatoes.
Some would say a tomato, but they would be legally infringing on a copyright.
The copyright of a website.
So he's buying tampons?
Yeah, no, that was that's not even.
Yeah, we're past that.
We're to the point where he's shot, and she should come in, and because she pulls him up, and he's somehow alive, and he's got like a bullet hole in his head.
The tampons
they should have put a tampon in his head and been like,
what saves him.
Forget these, John Henry, and
he leaves toxic masculinity away.
And he should say the famous line. Is that a slim line? Because I'm a fat pussy skull.
Okay, in all seriousness, when you just said that, I actually was like, does that kind of work for me? I kind of think I would have liked it. If she saved him with a tampon?
Yeah.
It would have made sense.
It also did remind me of Bulletproof, where Damon Wayans gets shot in the head and he survives and he has to work with the guy who shot him in the head, which is Adam Sandler.
Because he already has a metal plate.
He has a metal plate
from a previous being shot in the head. How do you get a metal plate in your head?
Well, no, he gets shot in the skull by Adam Sandler, but he lives.
He lives. Oh, and then he
gets the plate, but then they have to work together.
Yeah. But we should say that being shot in the head is what inspires Terry Crews as John Henry to finally rip his sleeves off, lift up a sledgehammer, and start crushing some people.
Yeah, it changes his whole personality.
Yeah, I think he only kills maybe 2 people though. It's not tons. No, he kills. Okay, we get an improv scene of 2 gangsters in a car in a single long shot where they're talking shit.
And that's where
Lamar.
Lamar shows up.
And then John Henry comes up and smashes him in the head. We don't see it. It's kind of off screen, right?
Yeah.
Then he smashes the car of his cousin, the gangster. And then they have
No. Before that, they're talking to one of the girls who was in the beginning of the movie. She's a gangster. And Hell, who's played by Ludacris, is basically saying
the cousin.
They're gonna kill her because
she did something wrong or something.
She didn't win. She didn't win the gang war or whatever.
I just want to say I love pussy. I love fat pussy. I love slim pussy.
You don't judge
someone
someone by their pussy, but the content of
the character.
Of their skin.
Their skin.
That was Martin Luther King, wasn't it?
Yeah.
One day I have a dream that we will not judge people by the fatness of their pussies, but the content of their character.
Content of their skin.
Yeah. I listened to this Bob Odenkirk book called A Load of Hooey, and it's basically all these sketches and bits that he's written that didn't get up, so it's just all these pieces. And he has this one that's an essay. It's like a speech that Martin Luther King did on one of his off days, and it's just like a really boring bad speech. He keeps losing his place. He's kind of making it up. It's really funny.
But yeah, so what happens when she's about to get, I think, shot, and then John Henry sledgehammers into the wall, and a piece of wood from the side of the wall
flies
the guy in the throat, and then he bleeds all over everyone in the room.
Yeah. And then you see the hole, and it's like, the Jack Nicholson Shining, here's Johnny moment. Johnny. It's kind of like that, but it's not at head height. He axes his way in at lower range underarm swing of sledgehammer.
What's the size of a sledgehammer hole? So it's tiny.
But he has to get down. He has to pop his head down to be like, here's Johnny. It is John Henry. He doesn't say that, but it's implied that that's what he's thinking.
Pretty close. Here's John Henry.
Here's John Henry. And then finally we have like
Letterman.
yeah. Then we finally have the kind of showdown between John Henry and his cousin Ludacris. This is just a broad daylight on the front lawn of a suburban house in Inglewood, and they talk a bit. They talk some shit. Ludacris has his golden mouth plate that goes from chin to cheek, and they sort out their differences. And do you remember the dialogue that they have here, the conversation they have?
I remember the one of the lines very clearly.
So Ludacris is basically like, we got the same blood coursing through our veins. We're family. And John Henry says,
"Oh, we're not family anymore."
And then he says, "Is that a threat?"
Oh yeah, because this is a callback to earlier. They had this conversation as well.
When they were young men.
Yeah.
And then he says,
"This is not a threat. This is a prediction."
Yeah, which
makes no sense.
No sense.
Not in this context, but it's a clever callback to when it did make sense.
Yeah.
Like 20 years ago.
Yeah,
But is it a
This
threat?
is the big set piece. Of
This
the
is
movie.
this is what I really
Yeah.
wanted to talk about. Is it a threat to say that we're not family anymore? No.
yeah. So if someone
certainly
says
not.
to you, "We're family," and you go, "We're not family anymore." To me, you're saying, we might have a relationship by blood, but like our relationship it ends here. I don't want anything to
Well,
do
it's
with you.
more
I
like-
don't
yeah,
consider you someone I
exactly.
love and respect.
I don't love you. I
yeah.
don't hate you. I nothing you. I'm not going to hurt you. So
Like
there's no threat there.
Yeah, there's
I
not-
just want to be separate.
There's not a threat, but I guess when you live in the violent world of South Central gangsters, maybe everything you have to clarify.
Yeah.
Like, hey, is that a threat? Is that a
Yeah,
threat?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
people are looking at you, side-eyeing you, walking down the street. You just never know if your life's in
You know
danger.
what?
Yeah.
You know what I think they need there then? South Central Perk. It's a coffee place, right?
Yes.
Where all your friends can go, and you have
There's
have a
nice
waiter.
couches.
And
There's
because you know that the guy making your coffee, he cares more about all of you than you do each other.
Yeah.
And he secretly keeps the whole thing together.
Yeah.
What they need is a Gunther.
yeah, and what you need is it for it to be small enough and roomy enough that people like it, like it's never dead in there, but that also all the main seats are always open for you and your 5 friends.
We should call up the mayor of LA and go, you probably need some cafes.
I mean, we could go straight to Gavin.
McGuinness.
No, what is his name?
Whatever happened to Gavin McGuiness?
He was.
I think
he started
was
the
arrested.
Proud Boys?
He started a white nationalist organization.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He started by shitting his pants on the street and doing like shitty street magic, and then
Yeah. Well, he was one of the co-founders of Vice magazine.
I remember he was in an episode of Kenny vs. Benny, who was cooler, and that's the only thing that I ever knew him
He
from.
he was a kind of libertarian type Canadian character, but he ended up having a radio show on Compound Media, which was, I think, Anthony Cumia's kind of weird. After he got fired from O&A for being racist, he started his own media channel. He had a Gavin McInnes show, and then he started the Proud Boys, and he was vlogging and doing weird stuff. And then the Proud Boys, hurt people and, I don't know, tried to break into the Capitol building, and a lot of them have been tried with seditious conspiracy. And
Now, wasn't there a cast
Isn't
member
that a
from...
weird like trickle down? Like
Yeah.
you got some like hack pervert comedian
yeah,
who's like,
and then on the other
clearly-
end, you've got the rise of Vice Media to become
Yeah.
an actual $1 billion+ media network. SBS were partnered with
Oh, yeah.
them.
Yeah,
They
Vice
bought
Land,
into them,
yeah.
and then Shane Smith and all those guys that ran Vice, it just went into the ground, and now it's like a shell of its former being, and they can't even sell it off for like peanuts.
I wonder when people listen to this podcast...
I think it just went into administration as well, like really recently, like a few days ago, like
Right.
last week or something.
imagine you just watched John Henry and you're like, I wonder if I can get a good take on this movie, and you find this podcast.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I wonder if people listen to this. First of all, I wonder if people listen to this. And then if
They do,
people-
but there's only a few of them.
And then if they listen to it, if they can sense, like, as we get closer to 60 minutes, just like a sense of relief and like,
Oh, yeah,
and,
yeah.
and the willingness to like talk about, I don't know, other stuff, and
Yeah.
like it's just the whole tone just kind of relaxes a little
Yeah.
bit.
We kind of tricked everyone.
We've had this email, and people really don't send us any feedback. So we don't know if people like these tangents or if they despise them. No one tells us anything. So we're just in our own bubble, and that's how we like it. It's pure creativity. The
Yeah.
art is still...
I was told by someone, God damn it, can you please let me edit your podcast? And they've said it to me like so many times, and we haven't.
Well, it depends. What would,
Why
what
you
would their
want to do
choices
that?
be?
Yeah, you at this point you're tuning in for the personalities of the hosts, right? You want to see what they're up to. You want
Strong
to see how their lives
personalities.
have broken down. You want to hear about their relationship breakdowns, their vasectomy
Vasectomies.
botches. That instead of cutting open the balls,
They
cut
want to hear
the-
panels of Calvin and Hobbs. They want to know what
Yeah.
that lamb is like.
They want
wanna
to know
know-
what happened to Mitch for like 5 minutes. I was in an
Yeah,
elevator.
Stuck in an elevator.
I got stuck.
If you're not tuning into this pod because you want to be read a panel of Calvin and Hobbs and then hear the latest on the cast of Friends, I don't know why you're still listening. We got probably 5 episodes left. Like, just enjoy it. Be a part of it.
This conversation stops when the podcast stops, and that
All right.
means that.
I'm gonna sell the last scene of the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
So
They're facing off on the grass.
John Henry versus Hell.
Hell,
They're
No,
not family
just say
anymore.
Terry Crews versus Ludacris. But
All right.
Ludacris with
Cruz
a
and
with a
Chris.
faceplate.
Cruz and Chris.
Cruz and
Cruz
Cruz and
versus
Loser.
Chris.
Luda.
Luda.
He
Get
starts
back,
walking at
motherfucker.
him.
Y'all know me like that. I love that song.
Hey,
Yeah.
that is a good song. He gets shot. John Henry gets shot, and then he keeps walking. He gets shot again. Keeps walking. Gets shot
But
again.
it's not Ludacris shooting him. This is the
it's
weird
clear
thing.
There's a guy. Yeah, they revealed that there was a guy behind him
Yeah,
shooting him.
but you got to say he's approaching to with his sledgehammer to finally kill Ludacris on the grass, and he just starts taking bullets from somewhere.
And he finally goes down. He drops his hammer. A kid behind
Wait, is that
him.
a sexual euphemism?
He drops that hammer.
Yeah.
And then the kid behind him, he's not happy with it. He's like, nah. He flips the hammer
Brave
so
kid.
that it goes right to Cruz's hands, and then we hear a shot, and the kid reacts like he got shot, and his mother goes.
We
over
haven't
and she's
even
like,
said that there was a kid watching, but
there was a kid.
There
There was a
is.
kid.
And
The whole neighborhood's watching.
yeah, everyone's out there on the street.
Everyone's
now.
just watching, and Ludacris is talking about how you can't just kill someone; you have to kill what they believe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Which-
he says it like a really philosophical thing. Like back in the day, you could just kill someone. Now you have to kill what they believe.
What
And I
does
guess-
John Henry believe?
Well, John Henry is an ideal. He is the idea that man is stronger than machine, and that man will always.
And he doesn't need to
persevere
use
or-
violence
so he's
and guns.
so,
He
he,
does- and that he
so
doesn't need to
it's
use
for the
something like
witnesses. He's killing what the witnesses believe.
Yeah, they believe in John Henry.
Oh.
But that kid believes in John Henry so much that he gives him the hammer back.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see that.
Also, the two Hondurans are alive.
Yeah, and then the 200. We see that the gunshot was
Emilio?
actually the gun. The
Yeah.
gunman got shot in the head, and Emilio's brother and sister are there. They've
And they're
clearly
alive. Yay.
Yay!
Oh yeah.
Oh,
then-
oh, fuck yeah!
Hey.
And then we remember. Then we see who's been shooting these people,
Right.
and it's Ludacris's right hand girl who he nearly
He
killed.
could have killed.
That's
he
right.
nearly killed just
He
before.
spared her.
completely
He's-
didn't-
she
yeah, I
she
didn't
stands
remember
up against him, and then we basically have the moment where Ludacris starts being like, "Hey, John Henry, we don't have to do it," and John Henry lifts his sledgehammer, and we don't really get to see the gorgeous violence of
But what-
Ludacris
what's his
getting.
line?
Yeah, no.
Did you get the line that he says?
Oh, he goes. He doesn't he say like, "Are you not? You don't do violence, right?" And he goes like, "I'm not.
I'm not a
I'm not a
killer.
killer.
I'm not a killer.
I'm
John,
John
Henry.
Henry." And
And then
he
kills
kills him.
someone.
Yeah,
And then he
kills someone.
murders him in
Yeah.
the head with a sledgehammer.
Yeah, he's kind of not being able to integrate these two ideas at the same time.
But then
It's
yeah.
so funny.
He has been shot in the head recently, though.
Yeah. Maybe that's why he's got slightly different personality change.
Yeah.
But it's so funny to have someone who's lifting a sledgehammer to kill you, and you're the only thing you can do to defend yourself is say, "Hey, come on, you're not a killer. You're not a killer. You said you don't like killing." And he's like, "I'm not a killer. I'm John Henry. Kill."
I imagine right after I died, like my spirit ascends, and I'm like, that didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Dude,
You-
imagine
you said-
did you
you-
even hear what he said, man?
That's just a contradiction. That's an oxymoron.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Imagine you just like, John Henry. Well, John Henry dies after that, and we get
Yeah.
the classic
we get the
song. John Henry
I tried warning you boys we were going to get
Yeah.
another snippet of that song at some point.
And you know what's strange? At the time I was like, why did he die? I didn't understand. But as you just described it to me, he'd been shot like a handful of times in the lead up to this. But I guess because he survived that one to the head earlier, I just assumed he was Luke Cage-esque bulletproof.
Yeah. He's not.
He's not.
just
He
very
can
strong.
die. So He can stand up. He can do one last sledgehammer, but then he dies.
That's it. That's literally the end of the
literally
movie.
is how the movie
Yeah.
ends. So
No.
there's no sequel. John Henry is dead.
They want one. The creators.
Yeah, I
want
saw
one. The
that.
producers want one.
So they sold this movie to Saban, who got it onto Netflix, and in I guess 2020, the movie went on Netflix, and it did okay, as in that it ranked well in the trending movies.
Yeah, people wanted to see it.
Yeah, so people watched it because it stars Terry Crews. You know, you see Ludacris. You're locked down in COVID. You want to watch some cool
You might
gangster
have,
movie.
Someone might have seen Ken Forey's in a movie and gone, that guy's always fun.
I don't think Ken Forey was the draw for this one.
I don't know. You know, sometimes it's that might have been my draw. I don't know if I see a Ludacris movie and I'm like, you know what? It's a Luda kind of night.
All right, well, let's just quickly talk about some of the other movies we've got, because as I counted today, we've got, by my count, 5, and that includes one that literally got onto the list 2 days ago. There was a movie because the last ones were 2021, I think. We haven't had anything added to the list in a while. And I saw 2023 on there today. I'm like, what the hell? It was released October 27th, and we're recording this very soon after that day.
Yeah, it's 29th?
And
Something. Yeah.
don't ever tell the real
Yeah,
date to people, dude.
I just had sort of a panic. I was saying it and I was like, oh, fuck.
Dude, if
We
someone...
can talk about vasectomies. We can talk about all that other bullshit.
we can say fat pussy. We can make horrendous jokes about the day
give out
Matthew
the
Perry
address
died.
of Crane
That very
Vision.
clearly times, like you can find out when he died. But
The
to
day
say the
Matthew
actual
Perry
date,
died.
people can listen to this and get into your house and break
that's right.
or steal your money or
Yeah.
whatever just based on that. So that's the one rule. We don't say tomato and we don't say the actual date. But anyway, this movie Freelance, starring John Cena and Alison Brie and Christian Slater, just came
excited.
out. And it got a
Christian
0%. So we've got
Slater.
another one on the
We got
list.
another one on the bang, boys.
Which means the podcast will survive another week. But yeah, let's do a quick rating, I guess. I forget that we sometimes do the ratings to these.
Well, let me kick it off because I think I have something fairly pertinent to say. I guess no one told me this movie was going to be this way. And to provide context, my job's a joke and I'm broke and my love life's DOA as well. I do feel like this movie, in a sense, was stuck in second gear. But going back to me, it hasn't been my day, my week, my month, or even my year. But I'm glad that this movie was here for me. Weather is nice outside. There's no chance of rain. It's just something that I was thinking while I was watching the movie. The movie will be here for me like it's been here for me before, and I've chosen not to watch it. The movie will be here for me
Don't do the second verse.
because I'm here to watch it for it. 2.5 out of 10.
It's a 2.5 from Morgan on John Henry. That's so cool. You gave Hard Kill a 3.3.
Hard
So
Kill,
you-
don't-
I'd kill Bruce Willis.
Yes, it was
Okay.
the second Bruce Willis.
Yeah,
The second.
that was more fun. I
Yeah.
started off really liking this movie. Actually, those
It
long
didn't look bad.
the hip hop
And it-
sequences, like
I
just
mean,
The music
yeah,
was good.
it rocked. There was the whole tone. There was a really nice tone to it of like, I don't know. I felt like I was in a world for the first 5 or 10 minutes. Like this is cool. This could be something.
Yeah.
And then it just,
I thought it was going to be leaning into more of the fantasy stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like it really set itself up where I was like, this could just be fun.
yeah,
It wasn't.
it could have just been a nice romp, but it circled the drain pretty quickly. Didn't go anywhere.
Once you had like your fifth scene where someone would speak in Spanish and then someone would say something back in Spanish and then someone would go, what'd she say?
yeah.
Yeah.
And what'd she say? She said a whole bunch of
Yeah, he
stuff.
would always be like, well, she said more than
Well,
that.
she said more than that.
Yeah, no, 2.5.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say though, this movie made me feel 17 again. You know, it went the whole night. You know, it went the whole 10 yards.
This is better.
This
is better than what I did.
And it really, you know, sometimes it made me feel like I was gasping for air. Okay, that's probably too.
I was going to say, how are you going to say Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip? He was also in the remake of The Odd Couple that he helped write.
Who was the other couple? Oh, it was
was-
Thomas Lennon.
Yeah, it was
Thomas
Lennon. It was Lennon.
Yeah.
of Reno 911.
Yeah.
UCB alumni acolyte.
Mitch, do you have a score for John Henry that you would like to share with the class
I
today?
think that was pretty apt. 2. 2.
Just a flat 2.
No, I would give this a 3. You know what? Just because like that song, they used it a whole bunch. That whatever DJ Quick's song was, that was fun.
It was a good
And
song.
even though it was like every time a different race would show up on screen, they would change the theme of the music.
And also remember, the director was the one putting that music in. Like he was writing it and producing the music. So it's even stranger that tonally it was like a bit weird. But you're going a flat 3 out of 10?
I think a 3. Nah, 3.1. 3.1. Let's give it a
3.1.
little love.
We can do that. I can quickly add the 0.1, and I can also give it my own score, which is actually just based on a few of the other scores I've given recently. I'm going to give it a 4.3
Really?
for John Henry. Yeah, it was.
You think it's better than maybe something else?
Yeah. It was better than the last days of American crime. I think.
100%.
Yeah. But here's the thing: we've only got a few episodes left.
Wait, what did you give 3 strikes?
3 strikes. Oh, that's going back. Let me.
That's
let me
a while.
Scroll.
Your mind has changed since.
I'm giving
then.
this
I'm a
movie
different
3
guy
strikes.
since then.
You
3 strikes was so long ago. I gave it a 5.1.
Cool.
that actually checks
Yeah,
out. It was fun.
I did enjoy it more than this.
Yeah,
one.
and that guy wrote Friday. Like he can write a fun time.
Yeah, Morgan
That
missed
movie was
3
very
strikes.
fun.
Yeah, I
Morgan
did.
was not on that one, but
Yeah,
Citizen
if we
Kane
ever
was.
do like a review of any of the ones that we missed, maybe we could just do anything that. I mean, Declan, you have not missed a single one.
Well, let me tell you, Hayden has got a really bad batting average for the last.
We've got to do like a multi-screen one for him where
Yeah.
we get all of we speed anything up or slow it down so they're all the same length.
Yeah.
And
Here's
you
the
can
thing
watch
about
them all
Hayden.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Hayden hasn't officially quit the podcast, but by all accounts, he has. And also, I had to pay for the hosting of the podcast. I think you guys reimbursed me. Hayden didn't, so I've just paid for his portion. So I want to cut his face out of the 4 squares.
an actual
and
potato there.
Put just a potato there. He's gone. He's
I think we
dead
just put
to
a
me.
big X over his face.
Yeah.
Well, he'll be like maybe a special guest for our finale, which
Yeah. Bring him back for the finale. That'd
and
be
make
good.
him the main guest.
Yeah.
He'll be really indignant that we didn't invite him to any of the episodes. That he was like, why? I was just cut out of the chat, which is not true at all. But
No.
And to be fair, these movies when you get to the point in the movie where you're like, oh, it's like those other movies that we watch for the podcast where I'm in pain and I have to do something to kind of retain my
yeah.
Yeah.
sanity.
Yeah.
Like
Like
order food.
It's
Jack off.
exhausting.
Think about
Yeah, no,
vasectomies.
I was dying of hunger,
Yeah.
but I've had a bite now.
All right. Well, I've got nothing else to say. This has been a truly historic, truly rotten potatoes episode. You guys got any last thoughts, feelings?
I mean, I guess just phone in now if you have an opinion on whether I should get a vasectomy or not. No? All right. Thanks, guys.